we are on our way to go pick up an engine from a buddy of mine. Good friend of mine, guy I've known pretty much my whole life, has hooked us up on the channel with an engine. Now, I will say this ahead of time, we don't know the details of this engine. I'm not 100% sure if it's good yet, so we've got to go over there, pick it up, and see. In my last video, I asked you guys what you wanted to see, and I'm going to be honest with you, the comments were pretty much all like 90% 351 Windsor. It was crazy. So I picked up the phone, made a call, and rounded up a 351 Windsor roller motor takeout, meaning it runs and everything. It just needs to be freshened up or either rebuilt, but it runs. Then I remembered my buddy Justin has a kit that he wants me to look at too. So I called him, we talked, and basically what it is a forged 347 kit out of his race car. He split the block, so everything should be good. He pulled the engine out and told me to just come get it. Whatever I can use out of it, I can have. So guys, look, let's talk about this for a second, and let's be real here. Let me say this first. The wife got on to me last night, or actually today I think it was, and she said, why is it that every time you ask your subscribers what it is you want to see, you end up going in the opposite direction? And I thought about it for a second. I said, you know, we do that a lot on this channel. I've asked you guys opinions on stuff, and then I've had to go in the other direction. Look, it's just the way things go. Sometimes things pop up, and you got to take advantage of it. Don't get me wrong; it got a lot of votes. I saw where you guys wanted a 331 or a 347. So I think more people wanted the Windsor. But what am I supposed to do here? You know, I mean, do we go buy this 351 Windsor and budget it to death, which is fine, or do we pick up this 347 from Justin and we put it in an aftermarket block, like a Dart, or either we put it in a stock block? I hope you guys understand. It's not that I'm asking you questions and then going against what you want, but we at least got to go over here and pick this thing up, because I mean, it fell in my lap. What am I supposed to do here? Anyway, guys, I just want to kind of give you a heads up. If Justin doesn't mind, we'll pick back up over there. We'll look at the engine. We'll talk about it a little bit. I'll see you guys then. Guys, before we talk about what's in the back of this truck, I'm over here with Justin. Like I said, good friend of mine, and he's hooking us up. I've already discussed this with you guys, but I want to show you something with this block. We've already got everything loaded up, so this is what I want to show you. This is what we got. As you can see right here, this is the crack. I mean, this is where pretty much they all crack. So when people tell you that that's just a myth, just tell them
it is not.
It is not. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's is going to crack at 500 horsepower or even 600. You may get 700, 800. We all know about Chris Watson and what he does with his. So this is a 347. Justin does not have the specs on it at the moment right now. So we're going to get these specs for you guys at some point, just so that you know. And this is what we got to work with. So I've told you guys that we've talked about doing a Windsor, and now we've got this. So Justin was kind enough to hook us up with this, guys. So let's really consider this. We're going to pull this thing apart and we're going to look at it. This right here is going to save us a lot of money. So big thanks to Justin over there for hooking us up with this. And he's going to get his camshaft and some other stuff we're going to take off this and give back to him. But this is what we got, guys. A 347 right here. This is what scares me about going back with a stock block. We'll talk to Justin real quick about it and see kind of what he thinks, like power wise. Justin, about how much power you think this thing was making whenever it split?
I'd say 650.
So he was over 600, and the numbers prove that. So he was over 600 with this setup. So I mean, it would probably live if it's tuned right at 500, no problem. Also, we've got this. We got the intake here, Performer 2. RPM 2, I should say. And I think this is short enough to where you can get your valve cover off. We're not going to go around, look at everything. There again, guys, you know how we do it. We don't always go around talking about everybody's stuff and showing everything. But I do want to say big thank you to Justin for hooking us up with this. What did the car run before? What was its fastest time before you pulled it all apart?
613 on a 150 shot.
613, guys, on a 150 shot with this block right here. Okay, so they will make power, absolutely. I'm going to leave you guys with that, and we're going to go ahead and I'll pick back up with you once we get home and start pulling this thing apart. So like I said, big thanks to Justin, and I'll see you guys at home. That's it, guys. That was the very first Fox body that I owned myself right there. I think I sold that car in 2000. to a buddy of mine, and it didn't have an engine, didn't have a transmission or anything like that in it. I was in the process of building the engine and I ran out of money. So I sold it to a buddy of mine, and he put an engine transmission in it, put all the wiring harness. That's the car that I cut the wiring harness on. He put all that stuff back and drove it for a couple of years, and it's just back sitting again. I don't know what the deal is with it. I know a lot of you probably say, well, man, why don't you try to buy it back? Like, that was your first Fox body. But to be honest with you guys, I don't want it back. Some things are just best left alone. I just don't think that would be something I would be interested in. But I think it was really cool to at least see it regardless. I'm sure it's, probably about rotted away now. It is what it is, guys. I'll tell you what, I'll include some pictures of that car back whenever it was in its prime, back whenever I had it. And yeah, I'll just include that in this video, or either I'll make another video about it and include it just to let you guys see. All right, well, we are on our way back from Justin's house. We have the engine in the back of the truck, and as you can see back here, that's a nice little intake. So we're gonna go home maybe today, start pulling this thing apart and see what we got. All right, guys, I'll catch you then. We did get the flex plate off of it, which obviously, guys, we're not gonna use. So I'm gonna give that back to Justin, and whatever else we take out of here, as we kind of find that we don't need, we're gonna give it back to him. So this is where we're at right now, and I'll pick back up with you once we start tearing into this thing. All right, guys. As you can see, this engine does have a girdle. It is a stock block, but it's got a lot of good stuff in it. Guys, I think we're good. I think we're good here. Now, we won't know until we start pulling this thing apart. So we'll probably go ahead and start doing that in just a minute. Like I said, everything seems to look pretty good. Now, we're not going to bore you guys to death with this. We're gonna go ahead and get this girdle off and get a couple of these rod caps off and see if there's any damage to the crankshaft or anything like that. So we'll see. Get back to you guys in just a minute. All right, Andrew, show the people.
Let's see what they look like. Already busted them loose. Oh yeah, that's money there.
Oh yeah, look at that, guys.
That's money there.
That will absolutely work. So unless we run into something else, looks like this motor is going to be just fine, guys. Just fine.
Oh yeah.
Check this out. Yes, it has a little bit of wear, but that's not bad. Any of you guys know that that's not bad at all.
The motor was running really hard for a while.
Yep.
So.
Super clean though. Look at the tops of these pistons, or the bottoms, I should say, of these pistons. They're all just as clean as you could possibly want something. So, and there again, just to show you guys, it has been notched for 347, so that's what this is, just to show you guys. I don't see, there we go. That'll show you right there that it's a 347. It'll actually get pretty close to that if you rotate it. I'm not gonna do a time lapse or anything like that. Me and Andrew were just gonna go ahead and, I don't know what we're gonna do tonight. We might not even take it down any further because we pretty much know. But we might go ahead and pop these the rods off, get the pistons out of it, snatch the crank out. I mean, it won't take but a few minutes, and then kind of see what we got. But either way, I'll get back with you guys in just a few minutes. All right, we're back, and I'm sorry. I thought I recorded a lot more footage whenever we were taking the motor apart, but obviously not. So I figured what I would do is come out here today. So let's go over this crank. From everything that I can tell, this is a Scat 9000 crank, so it's not a forged crank, but you guys know that these Scat 9000 cranks are pretty good. So not to really move everything around because we're not very organized over here. Crank looks pretty good. It could stand to be polished, no doubt, but no grooves or anything like that in it. There was a little bit of wear on the bearings, but not much at all. This thing has been together so long, Justin honestly forgot about what's wet. Guys, look how clean everything is. And these are full floating rods right here. This is what we got. We just kind of touched them up, just numbered them. So these are a forged Icon or Keith Black piston. And the rods are a Scat rod, as you can see. Guys, everything looks really good. I couldn't be any happier here. I mean, you look at the bearings, that's not a ton of wear. It's not the best in the world, but it's not a ton of wear, so we're good. And here's the intake that he hooked us up with, so we do have that. And I have since kind of cleaned the lower, so I'm probably just going to leave it like that. I feel pretty sure that this oil pan will work with a stock K-member, but I'm not 100% on that. So I know a lot of people are going to be upset because basically I'm not going with the super budget 351 build. But guys, what would you do in this case? You know, we have all this stuff. A good friend of mine pretty much gave it to us. We'll probably work something out in the future. We want to make as much power as safely as possible. Now, this is going to cost us a decent amount of money, no doubt. And as of right now, we've not purchased the block, so we could still go stock block. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really want to go stock block, not with having, you know, all this right here, right now. Probably going to place the order for the block next week and go ahead and get it fully machined. So that's the way I want to do this. I don't want to get the block and then have to send it off and get machine work done. What I want to try to do is get the block already ready to go. That's going to be a little while. This isn't something that I can snap my fingers and have done in a week. So, you know, I always say that, but guys, you understand this is going to take a while. I'd love to have it done by Ford takeover. I just don't think it's going to happen. And just remember, guys, us going this route over the 351 allows me to use all my accessories. I don't have to cut up my turbo. I don't have to make a lot of changes. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Talk to you guys pretty soon about this, let you know the details. And as always, thanks for watching.